breaks off here. Horgan tries to get it, and it's the lion-hearted Noel Connors who gets it out.
Being brought up in a very traditional family where I suppose hurling was the centre of everything, you know, where you were out the back or out the front of the house with particularly the father. When I was relatively young, I suppose when I got hold of hurley was the initial time that I was brought into the GAA and brought over to the hurling field and kind of left off, you know, where I suppose that was a traditional thing to do. Having an older brother that was 18 months older was also a big motivational factor for myself, and I suppose very fortunate to have him on the panel also. When you're relatively young, you know, you have the aspiration of playing with your county, you know, and I suppose I was fortunate to kind of grow up watching the likes of Ken and Dan and Milan and Kelly and so on, and a lot of lads that were there, you know, and I was brought into the team very young, I suppose at 18, probably very naive and I suppose very fortunate more so than anything else to be brought onto a panel with depths of experience.
Wonderful defending, and guess who? Noel Connors.
I think the Brick was probably one of the first fellas that I kind of had I suppose some sort of relationship in the sense that he was an individual that was probably the fella that put his arm around me and kind of said, like, you know, like, this is how things go and so on, and he kind of showed me the ropes, and I suppose he's probably still doing that to date, even though he's probably seen as the grandfather of the team. But look, I'm thoroughly grateful of all these individuals that have kind of helped me progress over recent years. 2010 Munster final, it was where Dan came on and he actually got the winning goal, you know, in extra time, and I think that was the first match that was under lights in Thurles, and you know, that was a memory in itself. In more recent times, I suppose you had a look at the league final, you know, it was probably a massive step towards, you know, where we wanted to be as a county, you know, being a relatively young county and inter-county team more so than anything else, and you know, showing a bit of progression in comparison to where we were probably 12 months ago. I was probably always kind of tarnished with the brush of kind of a man marking role, you know. It was kind of put you on the individual that was kind of, I suppose, the goal threat or the scoring threat, you know, and it was kind of, I suppose, tarnished very young, you know, going back to, I suppose, under 14s, 15s or 16s. That's a fantastic role to have, because you can I suppose put yourself up against the best individual, I suppose, wearing their jersey as possible, you know, and look, you're always going to relish the opportunity of marking, I suppose, the corner forward. That's the best corner forward in their county, you know, and it's nothing to, I suppose you can get caught up quite a bit in terms of kind of restricting yourself playing and so on, but it's I suppose it's a joy to be able to go out and represent your county. I'm doing a doctorate in club leadership within the GAA, so it's kind of looking at self-identified leaders within voluntary organisations. It was something that is probably taken over my life to a certain extent, as well as, I suppose, the GAA. It's kind of 10 hours a day in the library kind of situation, but I suppose it's not seen as a burden because it's something that I really enjoy, you know, it's something that I go in and I'm very enthusiastic about.
GAA, be there all the way.